Second down and 11 for Arkansas, 1:47 remaining. One timeout left. Call it 12 to go for the first down. Sterner lost the football! Oh my goodness! He stumbled and fumbled, and Billy Ratliff recovered!
What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitter? Hey, it's your boy Billy Ratliff here with the Volunteer Roadshow again, guys. Hey, once again, we got my boy Josh Griffin here in the house. Josh, what's going on, my man?
Oh, nothing much, buddy. Just ready to talk some running backs. How about you?
Man, hey, I am ready for something. Football, running backs, I'm ready for everything, man. Plus, when we're talking about my Volunteers, and you know I'm always ready to talk about those guys. So what's up, man? What you think my boy's going to look like at running back this year?
I think we look pretty good. It's a running back by committee situation, I believe. We don't really have that one standout back that's going to get the majority of the work. There's about 4 or 5 guys I think that we'll see get some touches this year, and between the 4 or 5 of them, we should have a pretty good year on the ground if the offensive line can do what it's supposed to do.
Well, that's a whole nother topic with offensive line now. But so, of course, I remember, Ty Chandler, Tim Jordan, and of course, I think who was the third guy we had? It was Jeremy Banks over there. We have 3 pretty good running backs, and I remember Catfish did like a poll on the top 2 running backs we think who would get the most carries and the most yards and stuff. Out of the top 2 that we have right now that everybody pretty much is familiar with, which is Ty and my boy Tim, which one of those you think will have the breakout season this year?
Well, I think Tim Jordan's posed to have a breakout season. When Catfish and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, he asked me who I thought would get the majority of the carries, the most yards, I guess, by the end of the season. I think surprisingly, my feeling is that Tim Jordan gets it, and that's just because Ty Chandler is a little bit quicker. He's got a little bit more ability to break that big play open, and don't get me wrong, Tim Jordan has the ability to do the same, but the defensive eyes are going to be on Ty Chandler. So when he's in, I think the defense will be looking more to shut down the run, which will give Tim Jordan a little more open look whenever he takes the field. So I think against conventional wisdom, Tim Jordan's probably going to end up being the leading rusher for Tennessee in the 2019 season.
Well, I kind of agree with you. I mean, Tim, we need that guy that can run downhill, north and south. And like you said, with Ty, he's more of a shifty, a little bit of speed, and he can do a lot more things to kind of give you that Alvin Kamara sense, in a sense, of a play style where he can break it at any time. And, of course, with me, I still think with Jim Chaney coming back here, he's always been able to improve running backs with production in his offense. You think that's going to help this year as well, being with Coach Chaney being back to help these guys succeed?
Yeah, I do. I think that the quick pass routes that he likes to throw, the short passes, the slants, the out routes, the dump passes, I think that the running backs will play into that. So we may have, a running back or 2 that's vying for top receiver in the unit, in the offensive unit before the season's over with. These guys that bubble screens and things like that Chaney loves to run, these are all things that could get a lot of production out of the running backs. One thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is it's not just Ty Chandler and Tim Jordan. We've got Jeremy Banks, who he had some trouble holding on to the ball last season. He got moved over to the defense, I believe, and now he's back on offense. And we saw a lot of what he can do in the spring game. Jeremy Banks, of all the running backs in the unit, reminds me the most of Alvin Kamara. He runs straight up and down the field. He lowers his head, he lowers his shoulder, and he lays it into some linebackers and defensive backs. And he's just high energy all the time. I think he's got a little bit to work on as far as his footwork, a little bit of his finesse, escapability. But man, he if he can hold on to the ball, he could be a force to be reckoned with this season too.
Well, I say the same thing, man. You know, that's the key to running back. If you can't hold on to the ball, typically that's where they're going to send you at, is to the defense. And I can contest to that when some of my ex-teammates that I played with, you know, when you had that committee type of running backs, like we had Travis Henry, Travis Stevens, Jamal Lewis, Chris Ramsey, Sean Bryson, Dominic Stevenson. And some of these guys, you know, they couldn't hold on to the ball, or they just wasn't quick enough, or different things, or couldn't catch the ball. And that's when they sent to me. I'm not sure if you guys remember last week when we had Fred White on the show, when he was telling the story about the Dominic Stevenson. You know, when he knocked Dominic, hit him, and he fumbled the ball, and he went straight to defense. So, you know, Jeremy Banks, he's a skilled guy. I think he was more like maybe a 4-star kid that came out of high school, very highly recruited. And I think he's going to give us that extra push, especially a great third down back coming in, you know, out the backfield,
Exactly.
you know, being able to catch the ball and stretch it, you know, like the Bubba screens you were saying. I think that's going to help us out big time, especially with Jim Chaney back here working with those running backs like that. It's going to be something fun to watch these guys. And is there any new guys that's coming in that you've heard of or know about that may be able to, you know, maybe come in and contribute in it all, or give these older guys any competition?
Yeah, so one of the things that people tend to forget about is Carlin Fils-aime. He kind of made his debut in that last season of Butch Jones football, and things just kind of went downhill from there. He didn't contribute a ton last year. He had a mid-season move over to defense and then came back to offense before the season was over last year. But he did contribute a few scores, racked up some yards, some big plays and things. So I think, you know, he's another guy that you need to watch. He's a senior. He could provide some leadership within this group that, you know, has been absent in years past. And then Eric Gray is the next guy. He's the youngest back in the core, and this guy was really highly recruited. He's got great playmaking ability. He's got really good speed. Of course, he came in his first year and had to have surgery on his shoulder, so we didn't get to see him get very many touches. But I expect to see him maybe spelling some of the backs when we get into those high score situations where we just go straight to the run game. Some of these early games, these first 3 games. So he may be one of those guys that they can keep under 4 games in this season and maybe get a red shirt. Other than that, that pretty much rounds out the running back core.
Okay, well, you know, I always say, you know, running backs is a position that I think that Tennessee has forgotten about. You know, everybody always talked about wide receiver U. You know, when I came up here, you know, it was running backs. There were so many guys, you know, like James Stewart, Little Man, you know, Aaron Hayden. Those guys was out there, and that's what I think that our team is missing, is that senior leadership from the running back, like you were saying. Some of these guys that are coming back that can provide that leadership, where these guys have never seen anybody that's running to be effective and they're following their footsteps. Like, you know, these other schools already have running backs that are coming in running back after running back, like Alabama. They keep a stable running backs, you know. And I'm hoping that we're getting back to that situation, because we have quite a few running backs over there that can be our starter and contribute a lot. And I'm hoping Chaney produce like he did with every running back he's coached on his offensive side of the ball, and I think we'll be just fine this year, man.
I think so too. Again, a lot of this depends on the offensive line. If they can establish a running game for us. The sad thing about the last 2 seasons is that we've had a lot of talent at the running back position. We just haven't had a lot of blocking for them, and so it's been a situation where really good running backs probably underproduced due to a lack of offensive line production. That being said, it just struck me as David Johnson as the running backs coach. I think David Johnson will be able to, produce a little bit more in terms of yardage and scoring and stuff out of this running backs unit, as long as that offensive line can do what they're supposed to do. That's going to be, I think, the key to this season's offensive production is, can that offensive line give Guarantano enough time to make his checkdowns, and can they help establish a running game to open up passing options downfield?
Well, there you go, everybody. Hey, my man, the expert, Josh Griffin. Hey, here with the Volunteer Road Show, man. You know what you're talking about, man. You got it. Hey, don't even talk like that. I know you. You know more than I know when it comes, hey, I don't know what offense do. I'm a defensive man. I'm here to stop it. That's what I do. So, hey, guys, thanks for tuning in, man. Hey, don't forget to like us. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Hey, comment down here on this video. Let us know what you like, dislike. If anything you want us to talk about in the future, comment. Hey, this is going to be a great season for the running backs, guys. We're out. See you next time. Go Vols.